This video is going to explore trace tables. Trace tables are used to dry run algorithms to check the values of the variables and to make sure there are no logical errors. Let's explore this simple algorithm here coded in VB. We create a trace table by looking at the variable count. We'll type that here, and we'll look at the output that is produced. Now we have a table, and we're going to look through at the values. So count is assigned the value of 1. We go into the loop on this line, and we output count. So we output the number 1. Come to the end of the loop, and where we come to this line, and count is assigned the value of count plus 1. So count becomes 2. We go back into the loop, and we output the value of count, which is 2. So we have this line here, we output it as 2, and we come down to this line, and count takes the value of count plus 1. So it becomes 3. Come back to the top of the loop, do while count is less than 4. 3 is still less than 4, so we output count again. So we come down here, and we output count, and then we come back down here, and we increment count, and count takes the value of count plus 1, so it becomes 4, and 4 is not less than 4, and then we terminate. Now let's look at a similar algorithm. I'll take this box over here, we'll copy it down. We'll look at an algorithm where we take the console.write line and we put it outside of the loop. So let's clear these values. So we have count, and we have output. So we start over here. Count is assigned the value of 1, and we output nothing. We loop around. Count is assigned the value of 2, we output nothing. We loop around, and count is now assigned the value of 3, we output nothing because we're in the loop. We loop around. Is 3 less than 4? Yes. So now count is assigned the value of 4. Count is assigned the value of 4 here. We loop around. Is 4 less than 4? No, it's not. So we come down to the end of our loop and we output 4. And that's a dry run of this algorithm. Now let's try something a little bit more challenging. We're going to try this one, and this one has an array. So we have count, which is assigned the value of 0. We have numbers, which is an array, and it will be assigned the value of 2, 4, and 6. So it will have 3 elements: element 0, element 1, and element 2. So these are spaces. I could think of that as numbers 0 equals the element equals, in this case, 2, and numbers 1 with 1 in here equals number 4, and so on. This is how arrays work. Let's get rid of this, and let's trace table through this. So we can start off with our numbers because we know what they're going to be. They're going to be, first of all, we start with the first line. Count is assigned the value of 0, so we'll put a 0 in here. Second line, program flow goes down to the second line, and numbers assign the value of 2, 4, and 6 in these arrays. 2, 4, and 6. The elements of the arrays, the count numbering starts at 0, 0, 1, and 2. So we have 2, 4, and 6. A is assigned the value of 0, and T is assigned the value of 0. And we come into this loop. Is count less than 3? Well, count is 0, that's less than 3. And T is assigned the value of T plus the first element in the array. So T is assigned the value of T plus numbers with count. Well, count is 0, so therefore it refers to the first element, and the value is 2. So total is now assigned the value of 0 plus 2. So we put a 2 in total, and then come down here and count is assigned the value of count plus 1. So count is incremented by 1. We go to the loop, we come up here, is count currently less than 3? Well, count is currently 1, which is less than 3. So now we go through this again. So let's move to the next row. And now we say total is assigned the value of t plus numbers count. Well, count is currently 1. Therefore, this refers to this element, and the value in this element, remember this is storing a value, the value is 4. So t plus 4, so the value of t is 2, and the value of this element of numbers is 4. So 2 plus 4 equals 6. So t is assigned the value of 6, and now count is assigned the value of count plus 1. Count is 1, so count plus 1 equals 2. And then we loop around, is 2 less than 3? Yes it is, so let's add one more row. And now we say t over here is assigned the value of t, which it currently is, 6 plus numbers count. Well, count is currently 2, and the element 2 has the value of 6, so therefore 6 plus 6 equals 12, and that goes into t. So t is assigned that value. Now we come down here and count plus 1 equals 3. We come around the loop, do while count is less than 3. Is 3 less than 3? No, 3 is not less than 3. We terminate the loop and we come down here, and now we say a is assigned the value of t divided by 3. So t is 12. Count, t divided by count is 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So we put 4 here, and then we come down here and we output average, a, which is 4. And then I'll just put a comma in here, and we output count, which is 3. And that was the dry run of this. I'm just going to step through that same piece of code. I'm going to step through, and we come to line 5. Look at the values down here. Count is assigned the value of 0, and then numbers are assigned their value. So now we can expand numbers, and we see element 0, 1, and 2 now has the values of 2, 4, and 6. We step through the code to line 8. T is assigned the value of 0. We step through the code, we come into the loop. We evaluate the loop. Count is less than 3. So T is assigned the value of T plus numbers count. So count is 0, therefore T is going to be assigned the value of 2. T is assigned the value of 2. Now we're going to increment count by 1. Next line, and then we come back to the top of the loop, line 10. And now T is assigned the T plus the next one. So the next value is 4, and 4 plus 2 equals 6, so that goes into T. And then we increment count, so count is now 2. And we come back, is 2 less than 3? Yes it is, so we come again. And T, this time in line 11, T is going to get the value of T plus count is 2, therefore it's referring to this element, and 6 plus 6 equals 12, so T will equal 12. And now T equals 12. We're going to increment count one last time here. So count becomes 3. We come back, we evaluate this. Is count less than 3? No, 3 is not less than 3. And now we're going to put a value into average. It's going to be T divided by count. Put that value into average, which is 4, and then we output average and count. And that's this is called stepping through. We use this to step through or step into the code, which executes it line by line, and we can watch our variables down here. And that's dry run, trace tables, and stepping through algorithms. Thank you.